hello. I'm here with the daisies, as you can see. Many daisies. Lovely daisies. And I eat those. And yesterday I made myself a salad with coleslaw and nice dressing, and I went out here and I sat on the grass and I thought, oh, look at that. Daisies and dandelion. And I picked all of those and I put it into, shredded them, put it into my bowl, mixed it up with the coleslaw and the salad dressing, and it tasted really good. Tasted really super. They smell heavenly. And they taste a little bit like horseradish, but just a little bit. All of this stuff here is good for you. All of that stuff that the horses eat is good for you, and it cleans your liver. And you don't even need to get Dr. Scholl's incurable package that costs you, I don't know how much, $100 or something. All you need to do is you need to go to a meadow or an empty parking lot or a store that closed up, and go into that parking lot and you pick up all the good stuff that people call weeds. People call this weed here. This is a liver detoxifier. Okay, this is, I don't know if this is dandelion. I think it is dandelion. There are different types. Some of them are hairy. I eat all of them. The hairy stuff is a little bit harder to eat because it's hairy. This one's not hairy. That's good stuff. Tastes good. It's a little bit bitter, but tastes good. And all of that is high in fiber. It cleanses out your entire system. It cleans your liver, your blood. You don't need to go get expensive raw juices or diet formulations or protein powders or whatever. All you need to do is you go into your garden or somewhere where there's grass growing. You pick a bunch of that, put it into a clean cloth bag. You bring it home and you put it into your blender. Chop it up. You have to chop it up on a cutting board into small pieces with a knife. You know, you bundle it and then you cut it. You slice that bundle because you don't want the long grasses to get caught in the blade. And you have to put plenty of water on it. So you put a bunch of that grass stuff chopped into the blender, 1 part of that and 3 parts water. 25% of the grasses and 75% of water, and then you blend it, and then you have the perfect vitamin drink, and you can drink that every day. Drink that all day long, actually. And then you heal your liver and your heart. You never have to have bypass surgeries done. Quit all animal products except for once a week you can have eggs, turkey or chicken, and that's all. No cow products, no mammal meat, no cheese. Cheese is a killer, okay? For sure. Cheese has killed people. Oh, it's not funny. Cheese clogs you up. You want to unclog yourself. It's very simple. It's not that difficult to figure out. But a physician or a surgeon, heart surgeon, would never tell you that. They don't even live like this, most of them. And they make money on cutting you open. So that doesn't fix any problems, though. So the next heart surgery is waiting. The third one's waiting. You can die at any of those. I don't know, is that worth it? The meat eating carcasses, is that worth it? To become a carcass yourself on the operating table, being butchered up like the pigs and the cows that you have eaten, that have clogged up your system. It's not worth it. No, I'd rather eat dandelions. For sure. And I'm not skinny. And I don't have any kind of food deficiencies. I don't have protein deficiencies. I eat eggs and chicken or turkey about once a week. Paul wants to give me that more often, but I tell him this is not good for me all the time. It's not good. I mean, I'm not like super diligent about it, but I really try to pay attention to this, for sure. Since Helga Tagreiter talked me out of milk, I have not bought milk. I will not buy milk anymore. Because what they do to mother cows and their babies is absolutely shocking and heartbreaking. They tear the babies away from the mothers. I wrote a letter to the Humane Farming Association. Lady promptly wrote me back and said, what you're suggesting would not be profitable. Excuse me, wait a minute. Aren't you the Humane Farming Association? Okay, well, right there, you got an insight into corruption. And this kind of stuff is happening worldwide in almost all institutions, governments, corporations, even in those institutions that are supposed to monitor industries and so on. It's corruption. Unbelievable. They don't even see the irony in this at all. Not at all. No, it's the most normal thing for that lady to say. But that wouldn't be profitable. But wait a minute. You're being paid. You're working for the Humane Farming Association to make sure that farming is what you call humane. That's why I don't even use that word. I stay far away from that word. Humane is supposed to mean compassionate, kind-hearted, to make sure this is ethical, this is good, no one suffers, no cow suffers. No. They completely forgot what they're actually working for, what they're actually supposed to do. And I've seen all of this. I've seen this firsthand. Paul and I try to help environmentalist groups, we try to help animal welfare groups, not even to mention animal rights. That wouldn't even, nobody would even start something like this here in the rural area because they're all religious. So, but there was a group, they thought, oh, there were kittens abused, and okay, so my friend Lana was in that, she talked me into help. Then when we joined that, nothing was done. Then when I said we need to get started with this, then the grant writer who came in there, I really want to know what her motive was. She said, no, before we do any of that stuff, we need to raise money. It's like, wait a minute, what's this supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to help at least start helping these kittens that are abused there in this one shelter thing there? I mean, it was insane. Then we saw somebody brought goats to a wildlife sanctuary where they weren't supposed to be. They were grazing there, and they didn't give them shelter for the winter. They didn't give them heated barn. Some of them, they got so cold, they got so sick, they couldn't walk anymore. They fell over to the side. There were 3 goats that were dying. We walked by there. I looked at these goats. I felt so horrific. I didn't know what to do. And at that animal group, we were there, going there at that time. I mentioned it. I brought it up. And they said, oh, it's unfortunate, but let's focus on the kittens. It's like, what is that animal welfare group supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to help when something like this happens? Their goats brought to a wetland area. They weren't even supposed to be there in the first place. And then they suffer. They don't have protection. I see these kind of things all over the place happening. These kind of terrible things, suffering, injustice. And there's like, I don't know, about 1% of people that will care, that will feel responsible in some way. Responsible in a way of, I see a crime, I feel responsible to help. Not in the sense of, I see a crime and I make this my fault or something. Responsibility means I see that there's a problem, so I feel responsible, I feel compassionate, I feel something. There's something going on in here, in my heart, in my mind, in my body, in my amygdala. I feel something. I feel, I put myself into their situation. How does it feel to be that goat that is dying from hypothermia, okay? Or the mother cow who's screaming for her baby, who's torn away from her nursing baby torn away from her. That's torture. Okay? That's the worst thing that can happen to a mother. But people keep perpetuating it because of the buying choices, because of the stuff they buy, stuff they eat. Okay? It's horrific. And that's why I make videos about this and inform. I've seen unbelievable corruption happening. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Heartbreaking stuff. And we can change that. We can make the world better. But I gotta get out of the sun. I'm getting grounded also at the same time. This is really good. This is cozy. So I'm waiting for Paul. He's shopping, and then when he comes back, we're gonna go down the 101 and we're gonna go for a walk at the beach. We're gonna go to the library to check on the emails, sign some petitions. We're gonna give something to a friend. And in the meantime, I'm getting grounded and it feels really good. It's really nice. It's windy, but it's nice. Every tree has flowers right now. The apple tree has blossoms. They smell so good. So lovely. Really enjoy this. The blue god is bright and blue. It's nice. So, and I want to teach people to feel responsible for what happens in the world, for what happens in this world that we live in, okay? It's very important because every single person is responsible. Every single person. We're all responsible for what happens in the world. Okay, people always blame everything on their parents or government. But you are responsible. You are part of this. Everyone is responsible how they live. You have responsibilities. You can make the world better, or you can make the world worse. Okay. Or you can look away and let other people make the world terrible. And then things become absolutely terrible, and animals are suffering and people are suffering and the environment is being polluted. Okay, and we can change that. We can turn that around. Everyone has that choice to live in a giving way, in a good way. And there are some people that will say, oh, I exist, so I'm inevitably causing problems. That's not true. Okay? That's not true. If you consume less, if you buy your t-shirts from fair trade, okay, if you eat consciously, like I already said, you can make the world better. Okay? But if you are mindless, unmindfully going through life and you eat corpses, you're cannibal, and you identify yourself with that, and you believe everything that talk radio hosts say to you, then you make the world worse. Okay? I was just talking to a religious person on my channel. Religious person came to my video for Jason. And then I wondered, who is that religious person? Is that Jason? Well, I hope not. I hope Jason is not religious. Man. I hope he's not one of those Mormons in Utah. I hope he's not that catfisher Mormon that talked to me the other day on Facebook. Oh my gosh, these people. Most of those people are very... I'm not talking about Jason. I'm just talking about the religious people, no, and the catfisher. I hope it wasn't Jason, but, I always wonder who people are, because I don't know who they are. So then I get to wonder, who is that? Could that be the same person as that guy? What do they want, What's their motive? Why are they commenting? Why are they bullying me? Maybe, I don't know. They want money. I have no money at all. So, but that religious guy, he came to my channel, he came to that video where I show myself in a bikini, and he talked to me about sins. My God. So I said, all of those words, sin and hell and Satan, all of those words are religious words that need to be recycled. Okay, they're useless words. Okay, and they make people crazy. There's no hell. Okay, and Satan comes from Hebrew Satan, and that means the accuser. And why did this become something that is looked upon as something terrible, something to fear, something to stay away from? I tell you, it's very simple. Because the accuser has never been accepted by society. And I have to say there are two types. One can categorize that in two types. In a productive type and in a crybaby type. So, two types of accusers. I'm gonna get more into it. The crybaby just came back. Speaking of the devil, of the accuser. He's rumbling through the garage, so he's gonna say, "You have to go now." Okay, so. But until he says that, I'm gonna just explain a little bit. So, the accuser. I'm an accuser. Okay. So I see issues and I point them out. That's received as an accusation. I say there's something badly wrong with religion. Religion makes people crazy. So that's received as a Karen or as an accuser. There again, Karen, comes from the word caring. Obviously, that's how the corporate agenda, they brewed that thing up. So it's put into the world to bash anyone who cares. Okay, it's a corporate agenda move done by people like Richard Berman, market psychologists, that will brew something like this up, put it into the world, and then people will fall for it and they will use it. You Karen. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a Karen. I'm also a Satan, a Satan. I'm an accuser, okay? I'm a good girl, okay? The good girls go to hell. If that's what it means, I go to hell anytime, okay? Because I wouldn't want to be anything other than a good person, a compassionate person. And if that means I'm sent to hell by some shithole religion, then so be it. I'll accept that, okay? It's already hellish enough, everything. Dealing with people who are in resistance to compassion. And a lot of religious people are in resistance to compassion. It's very sad. So this is such a big subject. I can talk about this forever. I've already been talking about this for many, many years in my videos. The accuser, the one who says there's something wrong here, okay, that needs to be straightened out, that person is never very well received by society because people don't want to change anything. People like what's going on. They don't want to make an effort to make things better. What if they lose their income in the process? What if that costs them something? What if the production line has to be changed? That will cost them something. That they don't care if the whales die gruesome death while they have their active sonar production line going on. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I come in as a Karen, I come in as an accuser, and I say this is wrong, this has to be stopped, this has to be ended, okay? What's going on in factory farms has to be stopped, okay? If you call me a Karen or a Satan or accuser, do it, go for it. You can send me to hell for it, too. I do what my heart dictates to me, my heart, my amygdala, my compassion center, okay? Kindness, love dictates that to me. I'm driven by that. That's my mother instinct. That's my oxytocin, okay? Love. I feel something for another living being. Empathy. That comes before hell or anything, or social rejection, or being ridiculed, okay? Love comes before all of that. So I hope that makes sense. And then there's another form of accusing, and that's the crybaby. That's someone who's just constantly complaining about everything, about anything. Those are often the people who complain about animal rights activists, the crybabies. But in rare cases, there's an animal rights activist who is a crybaby too. which is the case here with Paul. He does a lot of that complaining about stuff like the tailgaters on the 199, and that can go on for half an hour straight. Constant complaining, and then in the course of complaining, he might even not pay attention and fall off into the abyss. Okay, so that's not a good idea. So in that case, it doesn't help. Once we're at home, we can talk about the tailgaters and we can complain a little bit, at least for 10 minutes, okay? And get that and vent that out. You can also hit your pillow and think about the tailgater. But while you're driving, it's not such a good idea to do that. And that made me mad. And I said, you need to pay attention to the road and nothing else. And you drive 35 miles per hour around that meandering road, okay? Past that abyss and the brittling rock walls on the other side, okay? Anytime there could be a rock falling off and we're finished. So you think about the road and nothing else, and let the tailgaters tailgate. There's nothing you can do about it in that moment. Really, there's nothing you can do about it. So that's that other form of being an accuser. There are two types. Let's be the productive type. That is my message to the world, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, as Eckhart Tolle, I'm not such a super fan of Eckhart Tolle because he's a little bit corporate, too corporate for my taste. But Eckhart Tolle said one thing that really stands out, and that's very, very clear. Okay, and he also used traffic as a metaphor. He said, when you're on the 405 freeway heading into LA, which we have been many times, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the traffic is stopped, okay, right there next to the Getty Center. Maybe stop for hours. You just turn your engine off, take the key, take your purse, and go into the Getty Center, into the Botanical Enjoy your day, right? While the other people are angry and shouting at each other. But no, I mean, but he said, so this in the same way that if someone is shouting at you doing road rage, you can just view it like the wind. The wind pushes your car into a ditch. I drove my mother's car once into a ditch. So, I'm making a video right now. We have to go there. I knew. Okay, you guys take it. Bye.